My chosen one, what I am about to reveal to you will alter the course of your life forever. If you are watching this video right now, it is no accident. God Himself has guided your eyes to this screen at this exact moment. And what you are about to hear is a divine message that has been prepared specifically for you. From this day forward, the burden of financial struggle is being lifted from your shoulders. The lack, the worry, the sleepless nights, counting what you do not have. Those days are officially over because God has stepped in and He has declared that from now on your richness is His responsibility. Type yes if something in you just received that. The abundance you have been praying for, crying for, and waiting for. It is already in motion, and those who once looked down on you for what you lacked will soon stand in awe of what God is releasing into your life. This is your season. This is your moment, and nothing in this world can stop what heaven has already set in motion for you. But before we go deeper into this powerful revelation, I need you to do 3 things right now. Hit that like button, subscribe, so we can reach 50,000 believers together, and drop the number 707 in the comments. This number carries the energy of divine completion, and by declaring it today, you are activating the frequency of heaven's abundance in your life. There is a moment in every chosen life where the struggling stops and the supernatural begins. For you, that moment is now. God, the creator of all that exists, the one who spoke galaxies into being with a single word, He has personally taken on the responsibility of your wealth. This is not a motivational phrase. This is not a wishful thought. This is a divine covenant written in heaven before you were even born. His word declares that He will supply all your needs. Not some, not a few. All of them, according to His riches in glory. And His riches have no limit. Think about this for a moment. The God who created the ocean did not run out of water. The God who placed every star in the sky did not run out of light. And the God who has claimed you as His chosen one will not run out of provision for your life. He is not stingy. He is not reluctant. He is eager to pour abundance into your life because you are His. From this moment forward, you are no longer carrying the weight of your financial future alone. God has taken the wheel. He has taken the burden, and He has promised to deliver to you a richness that is not temporary, but forever. Stay with me, chosen one, because what comes next in this message will shift something deep inside your spirit. When God becomes your provider, fear loses its grip on you. Anxiety loses its power. Doubt loses its voice, because you are no longer relying on your own limited strength. You are drawing from an unlimited, inexhaustible, eternal source. Think of a child who knows without question that their parents will always provide for them. That child does not lie awake worrying about food. That child does not panic about tomorrow's clothes or shelter. They rest, they laugh, they live freely because they know they are covered. That is the kind of confidence God is inviting you into right now. You are His child, and He is not an absent parent. He is not a forgetful provider. He is a perfect Father who sees every need before you even voice it. And He is already arranging the answer before the question leaves your lips. This divine confidence does not come from knowing all the answers. And when you know that God is your source, you can walk into any situation, any challenge, any uncertainty with unshakable peace. This peace is not naive. It is not blind. It is a peace that has been earned through covenant, through God's own promise to you. And He cannot lie. He has never broken a promise, and He is not about to start with yours. Now, I need to speak to something that may be living inside you right now, doubt. Maybe you have heard messages like this before. Maybe you have prayed and believed and waited, and things have not changed yet. And deep down, a small voice whispers, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I am not worthy of this kind of blessing. Chosen one, I need you to hear this clearly. That voice is not God. That voice is fear. That voice is the enemy of your destiny. Type 777 if that voice has been speaking over you. Because God's voice says something entirely different. God's voice says, I have chosen you. I have plans for you. Plans for a future and a hope. Plans for prosperity, not disaster. You are not too broken for God's blessing. You are not too late for God's plan. You are not too ordinary for God's extraordinary provision. The moment you accepted your calling, a shift occurred in the spiritual realm. The paperwork of your abundance was already filed in heaven. God is not waiting for you to earn it. He is waiting for you to receive it. Every time you choose trust over fear, every time you speak abundance over your situation instead of lack, every time you say, God is my provider, instead of I cannot afford it, you are opening a wider channel for His richness to flow into your life. This is active faith, and active faith moves heaven. Banish doubt from your mind today, not tomorrow, today, because every day you live in doubt is a day you are standing at the door of abundance with your eyes closed. God has already opened that door. It is time to walk through it. I want you to imagine a river, not a small stream, not a seasonal creek, but a mighty roaring river that has been flowing since the beginning of time. This river does not stop. It does not dry up in summer. It does not freeze in winter. It flows powerfully, continuously, without pause, without end. That is the nature of God's provision for your life. It is not a one-time deposit. It is not a limited fund that will eventually run out. It is a forever flow of richness that has your name written on it from eternity past to eternity future. It is not based on the economy. It is not affected by inflation. It is not threatened by job markets or stock crashes or political upheaval. God's economy operates on principles that are completely separate from and infinitely superior to anything the world can offer. And here is what makes this even more beautiful. The more you draw from this river, the stronger it flows. The more you trust God with your finances, the more He multiplies what you have. The more you give in faith, the more He pours back in abundance. This is the divine principle of overflow, and it has your name on it. You are not meant to live sipping from a puddle when God has placed you beside an ocean. You are chosen for overflow. You are chosen for more than enough. And more than enough is on its way to you right now. As God begins to elevate your life, as the blessings begin to manifest visibly, note that not everyone will celebrate with you. Some will question, some will doubt, some will mock, and some, perhaps even people close to you, will say it will not last. It is luck, or you do not deserve it. Let me tell you something about those voices. They are not your concern. They do not hold authority over what God has spoken over your life. They cannot cancel a divine promise. They cannot block a heavenly decree, and they cannot take away what God has ordained for His chosen one. Remember this: when God blesses you, no curse can touch you. When God elevates you, no opinion can lower you. When God has written prosperity into your story, no critic has the pen to rewrite it. Your abundance is not for arguing about. It is not for defending. It is simply for living. Let your life speak. Let your overflow be the testimony. Let the undeniable evidence of God's faithfulness in your life be the only answer the mockers ever receive. In time, those who mocked will stand in silence. Those who doubted will ask what your secret is, and your answer will be simple: I trusted God, and God never fails. In the ancient scriptures, there was a man named Joseph. He was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. By every human measure, his life was a failure, a disaster. a story of abandonment and suffering. But God was not finished with Joseph. He never is. Because behind every challenge God allows in the life of his chosen ones, he has already positioned a door of destiny on the other side. Joseph went from the prison to the palace, from the pit to the throne, from being sold to being in charge of the very nation that once imprisoned him. Not because of his own cleverness, but because God's hand never left him. God's plan was always operating, even in the darkest moments, moving Joseph toward the abundance that was always his. Chosen one, that is your story. Type chosen. If you receive that as your story today, the pit you have been in, the betrayals you have suffered, the years of struggle and waiting, they are not the end of your story. They are the setup for your breakthrough. God has been working behind the scenes this entire time. And just like Joseph, you are about to see the fulfillment of everything you were promised. Your palace is being prepared. Your breakthrough is being orchestrated. Your season of richness is not a distant dream. It is the next chapter that God is already writing for your life. I want to hold that for a moment because right now someone is still in their pit, still lying awake counting what they do not have, still watching others rise and wondering if God forgot their name, still carrying the weight of a waiting they cannot explain. They have not yet heard that the palace is already being prepared. If something in you wants to respond, the link is in the description and the pinned comment. A coffee, a seed from the moment you just accepted you were chosen for more than survival. Stepping in is how you become part of the reason someone else hears it, before they spend one more night in that pit alone. When you give from here, you are not just sending a message forward. You are making the first move of someone who knows their wealth was never only theirs to keep. Let go of what God puts on your heart and say, Lord, send this to the one who is still in the pit and does not yet know the palace is already being prepared. Now, I want to speak to the deeper dimension of the richness God is releasing to you, because this abundance is not just for your personal comfort. It is not simply so you can live well, though you absolutely will. It is because God has entrusted you with a purpose that requires resources. There are families that need to be healed. There are communities that need to be built. There are ministries that need to be funded. There are children who need education, people who need hope, missions that need support. And God looked across the earth and said, I need someone I can trust with this assignment. I need someone whose heart is right. I need someone who will use wealth as a tool for my kingdom. And He chose you. This is why your wealth carries such weight. This is why it is forever, because the work God has called you to do will not be finished in a season. It is generational. It is legacy. It is the kind of impact that outlives you and blesses your children's children. As you walk in this divine abundance, remember the principle of the harvest. What you sow, you reap. The more you give, the more God multiplies back to you. Not because giving is a transaction, but because a generous heart is a heart aligned with the very nature of God. And God always provides abundantly for those who share abundantly. Use your wealth well, chosen one. Let it be a force for good. Let it carry the fragrance of heaven into every place it goes. And watch how God multiplies it back to you in ways that will leave you breathless. God has done His part. He has prepared the abundance. Will you choose to trust even when your circumstances have not yet changed? This is the moment of divine alignment. This is where your faith and God's faithfulness meet. And when they meet, when your belief collides with His promise, the supernatural is released. Doors open that no man can shut. Opportunities materialize that no human logic can explain. Resources flow from sources you never anticipated. This is not a temporary blessing. This is not a seasonal boost. This is forever richness, an eternal flow of provision that God has attached to your name, your family, your legacy. It does not expire. It does not reduce. It grows and deepens with every year that you walk in faith and obedience. Imagine your children growing up in abundance. Imagine your grandchildren inheriting not just material wealth, but a legacy of faith, favor, and unshakable trust in God's provision. That is what God is establishing in your life right now. This is bigger than you. This is your family's destiny. And it all starts with one decision today to fully, completely, and boldly say, "Yes, God, I receive it. I believe it. I walk in it. From this day forward, my richness is in your hands, and I trust you completely." Before I release you into your new season, I want us to make a declaration together, because there is power in the spoken word, and what you declare over your life has authority. Repeat after me, either aloud or in your heart. I am chosen. I am favored. I am covered. From this day forward, my richness is God's responsibility. I release all fear, all doubt, all lack. I receive the forever flow of heaven's abundance. My family is blessed. My future is secured. God is my provider, and He never fails. This is my season. This is my time. I step boldly into forever richness. Type forever if you just declared that over your life. If you want to go deeper into what God is building in this season, the full blueprint is in the first pinned comment below. It was placed there for the person who knows this is not just a message about abundance. It is an assignment. Share it with someone who needs to hear it today, because your obedience in sharing may be the very thing that unlocks the next level of your blessing. If this message touched your spirit, leave a comment below with the words "Forever Rich" and watch what God does in your life over the next 7 days. Subscribe so you never miss a divine message, and know this: you are not just watching a video, you were guided here, and God is not done speaking to you yet. This is your time, your season, your forever richness. Go, live it fully, boldly, and in the unshakable certainty that God has already made a way. Amen.